Vroom! Who's that? It's Race Car Driver. He's back. It's Arcade Spirits time. Let's embiggen me for a second. Hi there, I'm your host, the Prince of Blaze, Solon. Welcome to Solon Face YouTube channel. This is Arcade Spirits that we are playing, and when we last left off with our hero, Race Car Driver, he lost his job. He's not having a great day, and his roommate, his very high maintenance, like aggressively down his back roommate, is kicking him in the butt to make sure that Race Car Driver goes and gets a new job. I'm hoping that we get to go see an arcade today and meet some new friends. That's our goal. Without further ado, you've made it past the first episode, which, if you've ever seen our shows, means the second episode is where I get to actually play and have some fun with our presentation a little bit. So, when we last left off, we learned the mechanics of the game. The basic core mechanics. If a dating sim that's worth their salt, that like a modern dating sim, the difference between now and kind of how they were in the mid-2000s and before is that your choices are more transparent. They drive some kind of meter that you can see, that's tangible. If you've played anything from Amnesia Memories to Dream Daddy, there's some kind of meter in there that shows as transparently as possible what your decisions affect. So we learned how that worked. And now our dating app slash life coach app, no, just life coach app, Iris, is going to help guide us through our own personality and hopefully build a nice person. We're going to build Race Car Driver into a nice person. Over time, I'll build up a personality profile for you based on the identity identifiers detected in your speech. Maybe you'll be predominantly goofy, genuinely steady, a mix of both. Who knows? It's up to you. So what you're saying is I should always try to crack jokes or be super gutsy. Oh, and never speak, basically. I mean, being basic's bad, right? That sounds bad. Nope. Heck no! They're all useful. In the right context, there are no bad choices. Consider what you could say and go with what feels right in the moment. Don't limit yourself. Sure, you could gamify your personality, but it's more fun to let it happen naturally, you know? Just be you. Thank you for guiding me on how to play a dating sim. It's honestly good choices. Other dating sims would actually punish you for being yourself. If you do not gamify your choices and specifically go down one route and go with what you know will get attraction from someone, they'll just throw you into some nowhere ending that because they don't care about anything but the extremes in personality, right? No, I'm excited to see where this goes and how this handles the many different decisions they'll put in front of us. You might be interested in this next feature then. This app you've downloaded can let you see identity indicators if you want. That way, you can make an informed decision. But if you prefer, I can hide those indicators. Keep it a surprise. Let you simply go with the flow, as you say. Which would you like? Do you want to see the colored identity indicators or leave them hidden? This is actually a really big choice. There's two things that are happening here. So, one, if we choose the identity indicators to show up, I can make it as transparent as possible, and we can build our character specifically how we want. Race Car Driver can be whatever we want. Or, if I hide them, we will just throw Race Car Driver into the chaos that he deserves, and we'll just go with the flow. And I will not be persuaded to go any certain direction this way or that way. That's a tough one. I think for this first round, we're gonna hide him. That's the only way we can do this. We're gonna hide him. We're just gonna hide him. I've made my decision and I'm already regretting it, but it's fine. That's dating sims. So, mysterious. Okay, I'll hide them from you. You'll always be able to spot basically responses though. Now let's see my patent pending identity identifier system in action. How do you feel about dad jokes? Hi jokes. I'm dad. What's a dad joke? Oh, that's the basically option. Okay. Little Space Invader friend. I want to hear Iris describe a dad joke. What's a dad joke? My dad told plenty of jokes, but I don't remember him having a style. Oh, it's when you tell a really obvious old-fashioned joke. What, like, gadzooks, have you seen those newfangled flush toilets and electric light bulbs? The devil's work, my good chap. Not exactly, but I like your style. Hey, we got points. Give me a point. Give me a point for that. Such a strong start for the basically meter. You asked me a single question. Off to a great start, I'd say. Hang on. Okay, you're scoring me. We're inside of a conversation, which is exactly where I want to be right now. You're scoring me, don't you say? You not to gamify my personality? Hey, I said you shouldn't. I'm an app. I think in numbers, so I gotta gamify it a little. Anyway, studies show that achievements, or chivos, as the kids say, encourage app engagement. Okay, what's the empty space on the left? Oh, I also track vocal responses from people you meet. Once you get to know some folks, I'll let you know how well you're getting to know them. Over there. Relationship scores. Wonderful. So, will you also tell me what the correct responses are to avoid making enemies, or do I need to go find a walkthrough for the vast game you're making of my daily life? Race car, you're looking at this the wrong way. If you look at it the other way, it'll still say race car, cause that's how palindromes work. Generally, people won't get super annoyed at you unless you deliberately and repeatedly provoke them, and it'll be obvious when you're doing that. I promise, if you bungle a few social encounters, it won't really hurt anything. No cheating needed, just relax and have fun. Don't feel so pressured to perform, it'll all work out in the end. In other words, don't freak out too much about what the right thing to say is.
To say yes.
Exactly! Anyway, access your scorecard anytime with the Q key, or click on the score in the upper right. Perfect. And that's everything! Ta-da! Okay. How was any of this get me a job? I downloaded this app because my roommate claims you're a life coach for the unemployed. Why would I take a quiz off the back of a supermarket checkout rack magazine to do that? Why, it'll help me understand your spirit, of course! You can talk to ghosts. Is there a ghost in the room right now? Am I a ghost? You have to tell me if I'm a ghost. If you don't, that's spiritual entrapment. No, silly. I mean your spirit, your hopes and dreams, your life's passions. I can even help you find romance. Romance? Suddenly, race car driver is extremely excited. He's like Scooby-Doo. He's like, romance? Huh? Seriously, often you can find your soulmate and your dream job in the same place, but if you'd rather focus on gainful employment for now, that's fine too. I absolutely think of our main character here as Scooby. He is a very Scooby-Doo type of character. Am I looking for love? Ready to start right out the gate? Never get a second chance to make a first impression? If I meet the right person, why put it off? How do I handle this new opportunity? Flirting and romance. Stay focused. Play it cool on day one. I'm not interested in romance, Iris. Cool. That's really cool. Oh, you could get into your universe without any flirting or romance. You can also go straight into just flirting the crap out of everyone in the place. Oh, that's fun. A range of romantic and aromantic story beats that you can hit. That's really cool. We're definitely here for some flirting and some romance. We want some sparks to fly. I'm mature enough. I can juggle both at once. Why not? Race car lies to himself. Super duper! And remember, the choice is yours. If you're not comfortable with other people, stay professional. Now let's get started. To finish analyzing your personal history, please authorize me to read your social media feeds and personal information metadata. Wow, that's, I'm still kind of shocked at the choice we just made. It's not really something I've seen advertised in the game, or even something that was, like, a lot of the advertisement I've seen and people getting excited about diverse options. Pronoun settings are really nice. I wish it was more like a pronoun setting that I could, like, input in text. But also, I understand why you'd want to avoid that. For a lot of reasons. Programming things. Just programming things. You know how it is. But, yeah, not an entire, like, romantic or aromantic filtering option. That's very cool. Hey, I knew it. This is a scam. I'm going to wake up in a bathtub of ice, missing a kidney. Sure, I can help you register as an organ donor.
Command or file name?
That was sarcasm. I don't know your personality. I cannot tell. Relax, I won't share your information with any third parties. This is strictly so I can find your dream job. Am I authorized? Thank you, Juniper. Now I am definitely trapped in this app. It's a trap of an app. Just like the 17 self-help books on my shelf. 18th time's the charm, right? Yes. Go ahead, take my soul.
This recorded music. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. I've identified your dream job and arranged an interview 30 minutes from now. Put nice clothes on. Please, I don't think that's too much to ask. What? 30 minutes? 30 minutes? Get the bus. You gotta catch that 8:20 a.m. bus. That's 9 minutes away. Is that part of the 30 minutes, or do I have 30 minutes to get ready? God, I would be very angry. I would just put the phone down and be like, give me a day. Give me 1 day. Actually, I probably wouldn't. I'd be like, well, all right, let's go. Let's get that cash. I do have a chance to get off this crazy train. Nobody says I have to obey my new digital fairy godmother. I could delete the app. I could go find a real job. I could go to the circus. I could go throw my phone into the refrigerator, and I could just leave it there. Give Iris a little chill pill. That's probably the safest option. That probably makes the most sense. I'll just put it in the fridge. Stop this before it's too late! Hey, race car driver, let's make some bad choices. Getting dressed for Iris's job interview, we know where this is gonna go. Should I save? I feel like I probably should. Let's stop this before it's too late. I care about my bank account. If there's food on my plate, who cares if I'm happy and content? Who cares if I'm happy? Not me! Okay. You're gonna... I don't want to throw myself into a game over situation. This world doesn't reward people who follow their dreams. I've had that beaten into my head time and time again. Meanwhile, I've got bills to pay and no job to pay them with. Although I don't have a dream. I totally deleted Juniper's app off my phone. I made the right decision. Where does race car driver go after this point? I got a spot far from Juniper. 9 to 5, mandatory lunch break. Years slid by before I could blink. Oh no, race car driver. Took the safe bet, broke the family curse, sacrificed every dream I had. I don't know what dream you had though to begin with. Everything's fine. Oh, I'm sorry, race car driver. I just threw you right into the game over. Got the good ending. You bastard. You know that's not the good ending. A normal person, someone with high standards, would have deleted the app right then and there, rather than hop a bus to meet up with what are very likely men with sharp knives and a taste for kidneys. But me, I'm already getting dressed. It's not that I believe that silly apps claim it served my hopes and dreams on a silver platter. Honestly, I expect another shoe salesman job, but, well, it'll be worth a laugh at the very least. Oh, okay, here's our first big choice, and obviously all of the flavors of person are here. Do we be calculated? Do we be comical? Yeah, what is my dream anyway? Should we be a little more soul-searchy? Or should we just be real aggressive? Just, what the hell? Let's do this. I'm thinking, let's just get really, he's already got a foot in. Race car driver's got to put 2 feet in right now. Let's get bold. Juniper's right. I need to get my life in gear. So what's the harm in diving into something wacky? Okay, there could be a lot of harm, but the alternative is to mope around our apartment for weeks and then go get a job anyway. So I thought, screw it, I'm on this crazy train. Let's see how far it goes. Let's fall off the rails, race car driver. As I came to realize weeks later, turns out that was the best impulsive decision I've ever made. Aww, we got that confirmed already. That's like, what is that? That's not foreshadowing. That's the opposite of foreshadowing. That's like 5-shadowing. You just push right on through and tell them exactly how you feel way after everything. Oh, hey, we're in downtown Bellevue. That's exactly where that office space is for rent because there's not a pink gorilla there anymore in Bellevue. Also, I don't know if you see that in the background, but there's Nub Sub. Nub Sub, eat free. There's a boring clothing store, delightfully dull, and Pinky Barber Shop. My destination is not nearly as upscale as Juniper's office building. This is a strip mall. Strip malls are relics of the 19XDXs, places where a random assortment of weird little businesses jam as many of themselves into as tight a space as possible. For instance, I'm seeing a dentist, a used bookstore, an arcade, a fast food joint, and a boarded up health spa, once called Lattes and Enemas. Which sounds...
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen. What do you think? That's two things no human being should ever combine. I don't know what... You have... That's... Alright. That's gotta be very cleansing, honestly. Now that I think about it, it's like... Yeah, you got caffeine going in one end. You got... spa treatment going in? I don't actually know how you use enemas as spas, but that's fine. We got a little blue. No, I mean about your future place of work. Butt stuff. Sorry, I'm completely distracted. I'm desperately hoping we're not talking about the same thing. Which one of these businesses exactly am I working at? I don't know anything about oral hygiene or books, and I don't want to go work on the subway line. Don't work on a sandwich line if you can avoid it. It's probably not the worst fast food choice. Being on a sandwich line is hard work, but you know exactly what you're getting every time. There aren't many surprises, and you get actually pretty good camaraderie with your workmates. It's the one in the middle. Behind the arcade. Are we going to Funplex? The arcade. Huh? Trust me on this one. I referenced and cross-referenced and cross-referenced your personality details, personal history, and social media connections. This is your dream job. My dream job
99.97%.
is... Let's go working at the Funplex. Okay, I want to explain the confusion here, but also... Let's talk a little bit about arcades. Let's talk a little bit about working at arcades. Arcades are beautiful places, meccas of joy and happiness. I don't know if working there is necessarily anyone's dream job. I could see a couple things. I could see owning an arcade being a dream job. I can see maybe being a technician on arcade cabinets being a dream job. That sounds cool as hell. Just hanging out at an arcade every day. That could be a dream job. Just live stream your arcade happenings all the time. Dream job. Working there. Getting coins out of coin slots. Doing money transactions for game card tickets. Getting yelled at when the DDR buttons aren't working. Harder sell. But I could see where this is going. Gotta, get the go-karts up and running again. Pulling kids out of a ball pit or something. I think we can goes with this. Arcades are big business in the entertainment sector. Pro gamers are celebs. 5-star arcades are social hotspots. It's always been popular with the mainstream. But restaurants are popular too, and for everybody who opens one hoping to be the next Iron Chef, a dozen more shut down in failure. Arcade competition is fierce. Paydays range from peanuts to gold. And sure, those who make it can secure fame and fortune, but those who don't, no wonder Iris sees this as a dream job. Video games weren't always as popular, though. I read an interesting article about it. Back in the year 1980X, we narrowly avoided a serious industry crash, which would have left video games as a kid's toy fad like hula hoops. No mainstream acceptance. Yeah, arcade games are not mainstream anymore. So, for instance, one factor could have been a terrible game based on a kid's movie about a cute alien visitor who just wanted to phone home. That big pile of E.T. games in Nevada. This game was complete poop butts, like poop from a butt, coming out of the butt, and just pooped all over your video game home console system. And it overproduced and undersold. It would ruin video games for years. Jesus. You can't blame it all on E.T. You kind of have to blame a lot of it on Atari. Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed. That game was delayed until it could be developed properly, and the crash was averted. The crisis only exists in theory now. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like for people in the darkest timeline where everything went wrong. Are gamers considered nerds and outcasts? Are arcades vanishing points of nostalgia? No on the former, but yes on the latter. If only gamers were still considered nerds and outcasts, where would we be? The mind boggles. Also, what if Boggle was mainstream gaming entertainment? How can we get Boggle? The game where you touch the middle thing and the dice pops and it's just a dumb, like, dome with aluminum under it and you just pop it. What if that was mainstream? Let me go call up Wizards of the Coast and see if we can make Boggle into the next D&D adventure set. I think we got something here. Make no mistake, as popular as they are, the arcade industry is a dodgy, risky prospect for a job. Plenty make a run at it, only to come up short. Considering Iris was tasked with getting me a job I'd enjoy and could keep for more than a few months, this left me a little bit confused. Okay, bud, this isn't me saying no. It's an interesting prospect, but I mean, are you sure about this? Are you 99%?
97%.
Okay. Won't this be like my lifeguard job, though? Satisfying but short-lived? This arcade doesn't exactly look like a 5-star. It's no Deco's Palace, that's for sure. To be perfectly honest, I haven't set foot inside an arcade in... not since the incident! Oh! 15 years since the incident! I remember really enjoying arcades when I was a kid. I wonder what horrible memories I'm repressing that stopped me from going to them. Iris interrupts the thought, eager to show off her homework.
Say yes.
Trust me, when I said I was 99.97% sure, I meant it. That's not some arbitrary number. I'm designed to be a bit silly and whimsical, but my math is deadly serious. My coders made me to be the warm personal front of a database array that currently laser target on getting you exactly what you need right here, right now. And when's this place's inevitable collapse and I lose my dream job? What makes you think that's going to happen? It does. It always does. I don't think your database accounts for my family curse. We've always had to, I don't know, compromise, settle, because things rarely work out. You always have to be ready for the worst. It's why I take things in stride these days. Does that mean you shouldn't even try? As often as my life tends to crumble out from under me, it's not like she was wrong. I still had to try. I mean, we're right here. I even set myself an extra 10 minutes of time before the interview was scheduled for existential crisis like this. What the hell? Buy the ticket, take the ride, do the metaphor. That's what I told myself when I walked out the door this morning, wasn't it? No matter how risky, I owed it to myself to jump in with both feet. And when it all comes crashing down, well, we'll just keep bouncing back. I have to push through the doors, see what waited for me on the other side. I got Pac-Man fever, it's driving me crazy. I figure that's how that song goes. The air conditioning hits me like a cool breeze, albeit one smelling of copper and corn chips. As it's early in the morning on a weekday, it's not too packed with gamers, although it's so packed with games, I'd probably have a hard time finding anyone anyways. At once, I'm struck by something odd. Hey, before we get struck by something odd, can we just talk a little bit about arcades, where they're at right now? Because right now, mom and pop arcades are rare. They're rare, and anytime you find one, they come in 3 flavors. There's your mom and pop arcade. There's places that are like an actual arcade, kind of like this. They're very, very rare, probably the hardest ones to find. 2, they are a arcade chain, some David Buster's situation. That's probably the most common. Just if you want to go play video games in a social environment and play like a bunch of arcade games, you're not too picky which, you're probably going to go to Dave & Buster's. 3rd, Barcade. Barcade is probably the 2nd most common, especially now. Just arcade machines are finding their ways into bars. They always have, they always will. And so if you are an adult, you can go to those places and maybe play a specific type of game. So it'll be whatever game you want. There's arcade databases out there that'll tell you where you can find specific arcades. If you want to do Initial D, if you want to do Time Crisis, if you want to do DDR and that's your thing, you can go to those places and make that your thing. Mom and Pop arcade like this is very charming. It is totally the dream to be like, I own an arcade with a bunch of arcade games and I have my people that come to my arcade. And it's always this lively pop-in place. That is a very nice space to be. And I'm really excited that in the next couple episodes we get to kind of inhabit that space more. It's a really nice feeling. Although, got a little bit of anxiety coming into it. Just a little bit. Like a little tiny, un poco, teensy-weensy little bit. Because, new job. New job. I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm about to go into an interview. So, tomorrow, next time on Arcade Spirits, join me as we get to guide our poor boy, Tokyo Drift. Our poor boy, the race car driver, into disaster. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. We'll ace the interview, we'll get a job, we'll meet the folks, and, yeah, hopefully everything will be great. Love you very much, and we'll see you next time for more fun and more Arcade Spirits.